What if I told you that one song, just one, managed to shatter records that the music world thought could never be touched? What if I told you it wasn't just a hit, but a phenomenon so powerful that it has rewritten history books, defied industry logic, and united millions of fans across continents? Would you believe that in 2025, a nation-led collaboration would rise not just to the top, but stay there longer than almost any song in global chart history? Before you answer, take a deep breath, because the story of Bruno Mars and Rosé's unstoppable global smash act isn't just about music. It's about legacy, obsession, and the kind of lightning in a bottle moment that only happens once in a generation. And if you think you've already heard everything there is to know about this song, you're wrong. Stick with us to the very end, because you're about to discover the details that will make you see apt in a whole new light. And while you're here, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe, because you're going to want to be part of the conversation when we dive into the kind of music history you'll be telling your grandkids about. It began 21 weeks ago, though calling it just 21 weeks almost feels like an insult to what apt has accomplished. In a world where songs burn bright for a moment and vanish within days, apt did the unthinkable. It planted itself at the very top of the United World Chart and refused to let go. Not for 1 week, not for 10, but for a staggering 21 consecutive weeks at number 1. That's not just impressive, that's the third longest run at number 1 in the entire history of the United World Chart. Let that sink in. Decades of music, thousands of contenders, and yet only 2 songs in history have ever managed to stay at the top longer than APT. And here's where the gravity of this moment deepens. It's not just the third longest number 1 of all time, it's the longest running number 1 of 2025, with 12 of those weeks taking place this year. 12 weeks that have cemented it as the defining track of the year. And, perhaps most jaw-dropping of all, it is now officially the longest running number 1 song of all time by an Asian act. Yes, ever. This isn't the kind of milestone you stumble into. This is the result of a perfect storm. Bruno Mars at the peak of his vocal and songwriting prowess, Rose bringing her signature emotional depth and global K-pop influence, and a song so relentlessly addictive it transcends languages, cultures, and genres. Together, they didn't just make a hit, they made a movement. In the latest chart update, APT sits at number 10 on the United World Chart, a position that, for any other song, might feel like a step down. But for apt, it's just another chapter in its reign of dominance. Even now, long after most songs would have faded from memory, it continues to rack up staggering numbers, 179,000 points this week alone. And in doing so, it has crossed a milestone that only the most elite songs in chart history had ever reached, surpassing 10 million points in a single year. In 2025 alone, APT has scored 10.380 million points, a figure so massive it currently places the song at number 2 on the year to end chart. And here's where the story turns even more unbelievable. For the first 6 months of 2025, APT wasn't just in the top 2, it was sitting at number 1, unshaken, untouchable, and unchallenged. Let's pause here, because numbers like these deserve to be felt, not just read. 10 million points in a year isn't just big, it's career-defining, it's industry-altering. It's the kind of success that reshapes expectations for what a song can do in the modern music era. And yet, apt isn't just a 2025 success story. Zoom out, and the picture becomes even more staggering. On the United World All-Time Chart, a place reserved for the most enduring and globally impactful songs ever released, APT is now ranked number 14. Think about what that means. It has outperformed thousands of songs released over the past decades, climbing into the highest echelon of global music history. Its total, a mind-bending 15.655 million points. How did it happen? How did one collaboration between an American superstar and a K-pop icon become this untouchable force? Maybe it was the chemistry between Bruno Mars and Rosé, a blend of styles, so seamless it felt like they'd been making music together for years. Maybe it was the way the song's melody wormed its way into your head and refused to leave. Or the way the lyrics captured something universal. Longing, connection, the bittersweet ache of a love that feels both fleeting and eternal. Or maybe it was the sheer scale of the fandoms that rallied behind it, streaming and sharing and celebrating, until App was no longer just a song, but a shared cultural moment. Fans across the globe didn't just listen, they lived it. Social media became an endless scroll of APT covers, reaction videos, dance challenges, and emotional fan edits that turned the song into a soundtrack for countless personal stories. From Seoul to Los Angeles, from small-town cafes to massive arenas, APT wasn't just playing, it was everywhere. And in an age where attention spans are measured in seconds, the ability of one song to dominate hearts and charts for nearly half a year is nothing short of miraculous. Industry insiders have been left scrambling to explain it. Was it the marketing, the timing, the once-in-a-lifetime fusion of pop and K-pop that brought together fanbases who might never have crossed paths otherwise? The truth is, it's all of that, and something more intangible. App isn't just catchy, it's magnetic. It's the kind of song that makes you feel like you were there for something historic, like you were part of a rare, beautiful convergence of talent, timing, and emotion that may never be repeated. And yet, here's the wild part. Despite all these achievements, despite rewriting the rules of what's possible, the Apt era doesn't feel over, not even close. With streaming numbers still strong, radio play unwavering, and fan enthusiasm showing no signs of fading, it's possible we're watching a song that will keep breaking records, even after it's left the top spots. That's the thing about cultural moments like this. They don't have an expiration date, they linger, echoing through playlists and memories long after the charts have moved on. So when we look back on 2025, will we remember it for the trends, the headlines, the fleeting viral moments? Or will we remember it as the year a single song, a collaboration between two artists from worlds apart, managed to unite the globe under one irresistible hook? For those who lived through the Apt phenomenon, there's no question, this was the year that Bruno Mars and Rosé didn't just top the charts. They owned them. They etched their names into music history with numbers that defy belief, with a song that will be studied, celebrated, and sung for decades to come. And somewhere, maybe in a studio, maybe backstage at a sold-out arena, Bruno and Rosé know what they've done. They've made lightning strike twice, no, 3 times, 21 times in a row, and left the rest of us watching in awe, wondering if we'll ever see something like it again. Now the only question left is, when the history books of music are written, will Apt be remembered as the song that defined 2025, or as the moment the entire industry realized nothing would ever be the same again? And yet, as breathtaking as APT's achievements already are, there's an almost palpable sense among fans and industry insiders that this story is far from over. In fact, the narrative surrounding this song is evolving into something much bigger, something that could set the stage for even greater milestones in the months ahead. The remarkable thing about Apt is not just its dominance, but its resilience. Most chart toppers experience a slow fade once they leave the #1 spot, their numbers dwindling week after week. But Apt seems immune to that natural decline. It's holding steady in the global top 10, still pulling in points at a level that newer releases can't touch. That staying power alone is enough to make competitors nervous and inspire younger artists to dream bigger. The collaboration between Bruno Mars and Rosé has also opened new doors for the global music scene. Industry executives are now studying the Apt model with almost surgical precision. How did an American R&B pop icon and a Korean pop superstar find the perfect intersection of their sounds? What made this blend so universally appealing that it resonated in markets as diverse as Brazil, Japan, France, and the United States? The answer may lie in the way Apt doesn't try to be anything other than what it is, a love song that's both intimate and expansive. with production so lush and addictive that it feels like a warm embrace and an adrenaline rush at the same time. There's also the undeniable emotional factor. Both Bruno Mars and Rosé are known for their ability to convey raw, authentic feeling through their music. In Apt, you hear Bruno's smooth yet aching delivery colliding beautifully with Rosé's crystalline, emotive tone. It's a vocal match that makes you believe every word, every note. That emotional connection is what transforms casual listeners into die-hard fans, and what keeps them coming back long after the initial hype has passed. Looking ahead, the possibilities are tantalizing. With award season looming, there's growing speculation about how Apt will perform. Could it sweep the major categories at the Grammys? Could it earn historic wins for both artists, bridging the gap between Western and Asian representation? At music's highest level, the momentum suggests that such achievements are not only possible, but increasingly likely. And if Apt continues to perform at its current pace, it might even challenge more all-time records before the year is over. Beyond the numbers, there's the cultural impact to consider. Apt has become more than a song. It's a unifying force. It's sparked collaborations between fan communities that once existed in separate spheres. It's inspired countless covers and creative projects, turning its influence into something living and breathing beyond the charts. And perhaps most importantly, it's proven that music, when crafted with honesty, passion, and vision, can transcend every barrier, be it language, geography, or genre. In the end, APT's story isn't just about two artists making history. It's about what happens when the right song arrives at the right moment in time and refuses to let go. If this is what Bruno Mars and Rosé can achieve together in one release, the world can only imagine what's coming next. And one thing is certain: the music industry will never underestimate them again.